You know, I like to say about myself that I have a great gaydar, so I know when someone is in the closet and I have a chance. It's usually when I want to find a trade.
So you can tell when someone's like secret gay.
Oh, for sure.
Is it the sound guy?
Hmm?
We'll talk later. Hi, it's me, Trixie Mattel, and welcome back to The Pit Stop. Today we are recapping Season 13, Episode 10 of RuPaul's Drag Race, and it's a makeover episode, and we are very, very fortunate to have an incredible makeup artist in the house today, Nicky. Hello.
Bonjour, bitch. How are you?
Bonjour, mon chéri. Comment ça va?
Ça va très bien, merci beaucoup.
Parfait. J'ai étudié le français au lycée, mais j'ai oublié.
That's okay, I forget my English all the time.
Great. We're breaking down barriers here with drag, okay? Reaching across the aisle. Different cultures coming together to read drag queens for film. I'm so happy you're here.
I'm so happy to be with you too. You are the original doll. I'm just, just a follower.
Look at the material. She's related. She's my drag daughter. Get into it. I just took a paternity test and I am the mother. And then I run and scream, oh my God, I can't believe it. How are you doing, girl?
Doing well, gaining weight, performing on Zoom. What else do you want to do? This is the drag race dream.
I'm doing well. I'm gaining weight.
Never happened before.
What's the quarantine culprit food?
Well, initially I was trying to eat green and, maintain my health, and I just switched to fried chicken.
Well, you're a New Yorker, right?
I am a New Yorker.
Bagels are donuts. You know that, right? Nobody talks about it. That's a donut, man.
Yep, I do ham, cream cheese, and egg on an everything bagel almost every morning.
Literally 1,500 calories. I love it. You better work, bitch. You look so beautiful. I just can't stop staring at your eyes.
Thank you so much.
God, and that lip gloss is like a blue topper.
Mm-hmm.
That is so beautiful. I'm so happy we're here at episode 10 because do you love the makeover episodes?
I'm very excited to see the creativity and how the girls really remove themselves from themselves and put it into someone else.
Yeah, I love watching the makeover episodes because there's always a few incredible transformations and there's always a few devastating flops. So last week, Gottmik got her second win in Snatch Game and Elliott with 2 T's sashayed away.
Yeah.
When the queens get back to the workroom, Utica's coming off her lip sync win against Elliott. What do you think about Utica's mood after just being in the bottom 2? She seemed pretty chipper.
Girl, I've been in the bottom 2 twice, and when she was like, this is such an incredible experience and makes you feel alive, I was like, girl, were you on that same stage as me? Because I was in my boots for sure. I mean, what else do you expect from Utica? You go right and she goes back, not even left.
I will say it was funny that she's like, I was in the bottom, and now I feel like I could really win this thing. Mary, you should feel the opposite.
Hello.
But I guess, people always say almost dying changes their life.
Yeah, it didn't help mine. I died again.
Well, for a corpse, you're looking pretty good. Do you think surviving a lip sync can recharge you in the competition, though?
I definitely think so. I think that when you win a lip sync, it means that you did impress the judges, so it's, one step into the right direction, for sure.
Being on the bottom, I know, it's so devastating.
Once you do it once, you have so much energy in you to make sure that it does not happen again. When you do it twice,
I really like Utica, and I think maybe this will help her visualize a place in the top for herself.
I think if you start to fail that far into the competition, it might help you to become even more confident, for sure.
Yeah, because all the people who win Drag Race, they always believed they were gonna win while they were there.
You have to be delusional until you convince everyone around you that it's gonna happen.
By the way, did you live for Tina's back of the head haircut?
I mean, we are in a position now in the society where no one should judge anyone's haircut because we are all doing it by ourselves. So I shall not criticize, but it is a choice.
Back of the head haircut. I mean, as far as Tina's hair and clothing and fashion choices, this isn't the worst thing.
No.
The next day, the queens are transported to the main stage where they have a psychic session with medium Char Margolis. What did you think of this whole moment?
It was kind of surreal in the mindset of these girls. They're like, every decision can me over, and now all my faith is into a medium.
Right.
It's a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah, and it's also like it's a Hollywood medium, you know? In LA, I am not a Hollywood medium. I'm a Hollywood extra large. Okay.
I had a size joke, but you just took it. It's fine.
We'll have her, give her the joke.
Yours was better. Never mind.
You know what? Cut the camera. What did you think of the medium?
You know, I was wondering first and foremost what size she was wearing. Was she a medium?
Oh my God. I love a medium who comes in and predicts people's inseams. Char should have been like, is anybody here a 42 waist? And just like called them out. That's what she should have done. Do you believe in psychics, Nikki?
You know, I think it's one of the things that I've always had a hard time with. First, because I've never seen a psychic. And second, I don't want her to be true. So I think if I would go see her and I would pay her, every time she would ask me a question, even if she's right, I would be like, nope, try again.
So you would want to just try to mess her up.
Yeah, I want her to change career.
I will say some of the stuff she was pulling out was kind of a gag.
I mean, Clara the cow.
Yeah.
Like, it's already crazy enough that you know that she has a cow, but you already know her name.
Right.
And also, who else would have a cow but Utica?
Right. That does make a lot of sense. Although I will say, Clara is a cow name.
Right.
The medium would have been like, didn't you have a cow that died? I would have been like, Joey J went home.
Candy Muse is still here.
Right. Oh my God. You're bad. I don't ever tell jokes like that on this show. I don't ever pass judgment on others. I can't believe Nikki's bringing this energy into the studio today.
I'm from overseas, it's allowed.
Oh, did you see that the psychic picked up on a little possible love match there?
Yes. Okay, well, I think that's something that all of us have been thinking. It's a little sketchy. But I love that Rosé remembered that she had a boyfriend over there waiting for her at the airport, and she was like, my boyfriend is gonna be upset.
I'm not sure if I should do this. Bury that energy. What do you think is more likely to be true? Rosé and Denali are hooking up, or Utica's cow is trying to talk to her through a psychic?
I think the cow.
You don't have to be a psychic to look at that lineup of people and go, that bitch had a pet cow.
She had a cow.
She had a cow.
Yep, it's obvious.
That's like when she looked at Candy and said, like, was there somebody here you didn't initially like? I'm like, yeah, everyone.
Yep, from the get-go.
For the Maxi Challenge this week, it's makeover time, but the COVID twist of the season is that the queens are making each other over. Do you like this twist?
I don't know, because I think that having a super fan joining the studio and making sure that whatever you're gonna do, they're gonna love it is one thing. Having a drag queen with a huge ass ego that's gonna try to criticize and look with a magnifying glass everything you're doing is going to be freaking annoying to me. So I'm not sure I would have liked that.
At least it's two drag queens, two pairs of hands.
I guess, yeah.
On season 7 of Drag Race, we made over really, really old people. And that's how I met Tempest du Jour. And we've been friends ever since. Do you enjoy the makeover challenge in general?
I love a makeover challenge. I'm someone that is very visual, and I love telling a story as soon as you enter the room. And it's so exciting to see them going back in their suitcases and be like, you're gonna wear this and you're gonna be me when I'm trying to channel this. So it was very cute to see them trying to channel themselves into someone else.
You're a professional working makeup artist. When someone sits in your chair, what's the first thing you do with their face? What's the first thing you look at?
I always try to see what needs to be highlighted and what needs to be, you know, covered. You need to understand also how the person behaves and how her soul is and how far they're willing to go. And that's where you really like put the limits on the makeup that you're gonna apply. You know, like in France, for example, women barely wear foundation. It's just like a red lipstick and mascara. In America, it's the opposite. It's like full on face and just like a little nude lip.
You're right. Like over the pond, they're a lot more about not covering their full face. Whereas I think in America, you're right. The no makeup look is really skin focused.
Like in Europe, at least it's all about like enhancing what you already have. And in America, it's like, bitch, if I don't have it, I can buy it. So give me the foundation, okay?
That is totally what it is. Which honestly, that's what drag is, am I right?
Tell me about it.
During season 7, I was made over by Pearl. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
It's amazing what she does. And I was so like honored to look in the mirror with her makeup on and be like, oh. Speaking of makeovers, you of course did Pete Davidson when RuPaul hosted SNL. How was that experience?
It was such a surreal experience to know that Ru and his team really specifically asked me to come on set. And you know, like painting this tall, cis, straight male in full drag was pretty tough, because he told me from the get-go, there's one thing that I hate about my job is the makeup chair. And I was like, oh, great, like get started. And he has been so sweet about it and literally turned into Rebecca Glasscox.
He kind of did, didn't he?
He looked exactly like her. I was obsessed.
So Ru announces the queens that are paired up are these 4 duos: Rosé and Tina, Olivia and Denali, Simone and Utica, and Gottmik and Candy. From this cast, who would you have wanted to be paired with?
I think I would have loved to be paired with Utica.
Yeah.
First of all, as a fashion queen, I think that Utica is one of the strongest fashion queen in this season. I think she's the definition of bringing camp and making it fashion to the extreme. Like, I'm so inspired by it. She actually had a featuring in Vogue because they considered her as a fashion queen as well. I think she really has a good eye, and I think that having her vision on my body and me turning her into a more like classic editorial would have been a really good duo.
To echo what you're saying, Utica is so about the storytelling.
Yeah.
And that's what's so evident. It's like every look is like stepped out of its own world. Let's be shady. Who would you want to make over on season 12? Who needs the Nicky snatch?
I would have loved to actually do Heidi's makeover, because I know that Heidi had a really hard time with her mug coming into the competition. So I think that teaming together and having her really allow me to, you know, translate this je ne sais quoi that she has to just like be herself on screen, and then for me to just stamp my face, because she's a beautiful queen.
Yeah, she is.
Just stamping a little technique on it would have been a winning team for sure.
We're the secreting this into the universe. Heidi, Nicky's gonna help you finally get your life together, and you will find a man.
And that means that Trixie thinks that you still did not figure it out.
So even though they're both New York queens, Tina and Rosé are not super close. What did you think of that dynamic in the workroom?
I know both of them. They are hard workers, they are ambassador of the gay community in New York, and I think that they both have their own niche, so they do work together without really being co-workers, and it's like having 2 titans in the same room for one little crumb of bread.
In New York, the drag queens don't often work together. A lot of the times, the top drag queens, they do an hour by themselves.
New York is huge.
Yeah. That island, I think I looked it up, it's like 16 miles across or something. And there's 1 billion people. And 75,000 of them are drag queens.
I do believe that New York is bigger than New Zealand.
If you're from New Zealand and you're fact-checking at home, please let us know in the comments if Nicky is a liar. Thank you so much. They'll let you know, girl. They'll let you know on Twitter right away.
Oh, they will drag me, bitch.
And I have to say, Tina hates the color pink. What?
You know, I think she should start to learn liking other colors. Because of her, we hate red, yellow, and orange.
I know, she really should be experimenting. I just wanted to ask her, as a person who hates pink, what was the trauma? Where did it begin?
And how did it lead to red, orange, and yellow?
That is a good point. Tina, I know you said you don't like pink, and I heard you. And I'll never forget it. Now, is there a color in drag that you're not partial to?
I think yellow. Yellow is not really my favorite color. I would wear it because I'm versatile.
You look fabulous in this lavender, though, I have to say.
Thank you, thank you. It makes me look tanner than I actually am, so I love it.
That's the truth. This is a quarantined, pale, pasty woman who is lying to you with her color combo.
I'm actually a Swedish guy.
You're Swedish?
I'm not.
You know about my fabulous Swedish accent.
Oh, I want to hear now.
Hello, welcome to Sweden. Swedish people do not have tans. Thank you.
And the winner of the Eurovision is Trixie Mattel.
Thank you so much. So, meanwhile, Simone and Utica are feeling pressure because those are really different types of drag. What did you think of that tension?
You know, as much as I would have personally be ecstatic to be able to channel Simone on the stage, I do understand that in the current climate, you have to be careful about, you know, cultural appropriation and cultural appreciation. The gap between the two is so thin, you really want to make sure that you're not overstepping.
I understand the trepidation. However, I felt like if your partner, a black artist, wants to express themselves and use your body as an instrument, it's almost like you owe it to her to really let her vision flow through you. And Gottmik and Candy are stressed because, hello, two completely different body types. Would that have had you stressed out as well?
No, because I was prepared and I came with a big burlesque robe, so I was like, this is gonna go around any type of figure.
T. Caftans.
Kaftan, honey. Honey mahogany.
So the queens are gonna practice their walk. Which queen from this cast has your favorite runway walk?
I was convinced that Utica, because of the training of Simone, would be the one that I would be obsessed with. But I have to say, Gottmik really killed it.
Yeah.
I know Candy personally, and I know her by heart, and seeing Gottmik really channeling her so well and having such an ease was so entertaining to watch.
I think my favorite walk in general, like anytime Olivia walks the runway, she just is like a movie star. It's all teeth, it's all...
Well, who's Olivia? I only know Fred.
There is no Olivia. I only know Fred. Oh my God. I was so worried she was gonna be mad about that, and she DM'd me laughing, and I was like, thank God. Because what if she's like, please don't tell people my government name.
Oh honey, Frederick, we love you.
Well, if you think that's funny, her social security number is... Before we talk runway makeovers, Nikki, what did you think of Ru's look tonight?
Look, I am obsessed with Ru in the campaign of Viva Glam in '94. It feels like now she bought the whole company and she's the owner of MAC Cosmetics. That's how she looked tonight.
It seems like she's been going through a little bit of a hoe phase. In a good way. She's pulling out the short dresses, the cutouts. She's been a little hoey.
And that's without the season 1 filter, so there is a huge improvement. She looks stunning.
Yeah, anybody's a hoe with the season 1 filter. So let's get into these runway doppelganger looks. Rosé as Tina and Tina as Rosé. What did you think?
I think that Rosé looked better with Tina's mug than Tina looks with her mug.
I agree.
So I guess Tina did a really good job then.
Yeah, and I didn't love the housewife dress, but I did love the reveal.
I love the reveal.
Do you think Tina was successful at covering Rosé's more masculine features?
I actually think so. I think that Tina, and I never thought of Tina as being a makeup artist per se, I do think that she managed to really feminize her face. And I think that a smoky eye on Rosé is a makeup eye that works. I don't think I knew it. I don't think Rosé expected it. I don't think Tina knew about it. But it worked. It really made her eye more denty and her chin a little more softer.
Yeah.
Rosé really brought Tina to like a more pop star, Ariana Grande era, you know, with like a very intergalactic gem and the hologram look. And she looked very fresh.
Yeah.
And we were able to see her eyes.
Yes.
And her fear. Because you never see the fear of Tina with her mug, but this time she was shaking in her boots.
I thought they did a pretty good job. We have Olivia as Denali and Denali as Olivia. What did you think?
I have to agree with the judges. Denali's makeup felt like she was contouring herself with mud back in the day. Now she is an incredibly beautiful queen. And I think that the skills that she had at that time on Olivia did not pay justice to her. But look-wise, it screamed Denali right away.
And Olivia's so beautiful that if you're Denali, it's like, well, I'm gonna have to do at least this good.
What did you think of Olivia, who's a really good makeup artist, painting Denali, who's a really cute twink? And I felt that with the skills that Olivia usually have, she should have done a much better job on Denali.
I feel the same, Nikki. Nikki is here to tell the truth, you guys, and I love it. The look that was supposed to be Olivia's drag, I was like, I don't see Olivia with this fur and dress. I mean, generic.
Yeah, when they say turn your sister into you, they don't ask you to turn your sister into the first dress you ever worn. You should at least put something that you brought for
Does everybody know that you are a shady bitch? Does everyone know?
Baby, I'm a shady with a big S.
I love it. I get to be the nice one today. I get to be like, no, that's horrible. And you can be like, no, her. So up next we have Simone as Utica and Utica as Simone. What did you think?
I was obsessed from the beginning to the end. It was incredible.
Yeah, it really was. Like it was kind of like woodsy with like all the fabric. I loved it.
And it was a risk for me because when I watched it, I was like, your story, so your skin is what makes you uncomfortable. It's sometimes what prevent you from going forward is your own skin. I was like, what the hell is this bitch talking about?
It's just a dress, Mary.
I was like, honey, you need to stop smoking pot at 2 a.m. Go to bed. I don't know why she has an animal head, but I don't care at this point because it's so beautiful.
That it really is a look that, you know, that's not what we would have ever seen Simone in. And what did you think of Utica channeling Simone?
I think they did an incredible job. I was so happy to see Utica come out of her comfort zone and really trust her sister to channel her culture and herself without being offensive. The mug, I love to see Utica's face just show more. She was not hiding in their, you know, very campy makeup, and we really appreciated the natural beauty of Utica, and it was great.
I think everyone tried to act like the other person.
Yeah.
In this one, it was like Utica was actually a different person. It's a great example of how to borrow from a culture that celebrates it and it's respectful.
Yeah, it's appreciative. We want to celebrate that person.
Yes. You know, like when you go to France and you wear a beret. Very respectful.
Unless you say oui oui baguette, omelette de fromage, sacre bleu, and then you're in trouble, bitch.
And then smoke.
Because I know where you live.
Okay, finally we have Gottmik and Candy. What did you think of Gottmik dressed up as Candy, girl?
Okay, I have to say, I was expecting a little more. I think I know that outfit, it's usually a fully painted jumpsuit. Candy had to revisit the sizing, so she was like, bitch, I'm turning this into a bodysuit. So she did. And it looked great. It looked very quintessential Brooklyn drag. I loved seeing more of Gottmik's face as well. I think that's the least makeup we've seen her wear so far.
Yeah.
And what a beautiful face. What a beautiful face.
Beautiful. And I did laugh when she pulls off the glasses and the hat and she goes, yes, I'm a woman today.
Love that. She really knows how to talk to the judges and really chill.
What did you think of Candy interpreting Gottmik's drag?
I love that we went from Gottmik to Got Heavy Whipped Cream.
She's here to write the jokes, folks.
I will be here all week.
She's here.
You know what I loved is that Gottmik literally painted the proportion of her face, but when she did it on Candy Muse, she realized that there was still left some white that was not covered. And she's like, too late. This is the proportion that I do.
I liked it. I would have never thought of doing like a half mask like that. I thought it really read.
It was so good.
Who was your favorite on the runway tonight?
It's really hard, but I think that I would have to go with Utica and Candy Muse. Both of them were jaw-dropping.
I'm with you. I think those really were probably the two best ones. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And then I have to ask, who was your least favorite? Who was the worst?
I have to say Rosé was not my favorite one, and Denali was really like left on the side with no crumbs. So
yeah,
it was pretty sad to watch. And seeing Denali failing for something that she did not really had anything to do with was heartbreaking because I know exactly how she feels at that time.
So Nikki, trigger warning. During judges' critique, RuPaul asked that question. Who should go home tonight and why? Tell me what your feelings are listening to that question.
So I might have farted a little bit because I was so stressed when I heard that, because you know, the thing is, when people don't understand that, you might be the biggest drag super fan in the world and you see it every season, and then it happens to you and you're like, oh shit. You build such a strong sisterhood with these girls, and then you have to say one of their names, and it's hard. It's hard, mostly when the stakes are that high, because they are pretty far in the competition.
The hard part is when a girl says it, it's because they actually believe it. I'd rather them say the truth than lie, because we should all be honest. Hello. Everybody should win because everyone's amazing. No, these whores should go home because they did bad. Have a blessed day.
And that's what I liked about Candy.
Did you love it?
Oh my God, I was screaming in my room because you have judges that can potentially change your life. You have all your sisters that just say honestly their honest opinion, and they're kind of scared to say it, and she says, oh no, bitch. First of all, Tina would never look that sexy in this. And I'm like, so not only you dragging Denali, but you're also dragging Tina that didn't ask for anything.
Tina's like, I'm not even part of this, bitch. After the judges' critiques, we find out the winner this week is Simone and Utica. Do you agree?
I completely agree.
Congratulations, Utica and
Yeah.
Simone. You served.
Congratulations, girls.
So in the bottom two, we have Olivia, my drag mother and daughter, the host of Drag Race, and Denali. Do you think it's the right bottom two?
I mean, if we have to hold accountable Olivia for the work she did on Denali, yes, she deserves to be on the bottom.
Yeah.
But based on the way she looked, it was giving me Denali. I would have probably put Rosé. Based on the look, I think that Tina has questionable outfits, but this one was definitely one of the worst outfits of Tina that I've seen on the runway.
I mean, Tina didn't look like Rosé to me.
And also, this outfit was not yellow, orange, and red. So out of the only time we won your brand, you are not giving us your brand?
Make it make sense. Do you agree with Denali that Olivia got her into the bottom?
I mean, as much as I love Olivia, I kind of agree.
The main crime is it doesn't look anything like Olivia. Olivia wins the lip sync, bursts into tears, and Denali sachets away. Do you agree that Olivia won the lip sync?
I do agree that Olivia win the lip sync because she was very comfortable doing it. But I felt bad for Denali because the outfit was wearing her. And I do believe that Denali really fought really hard. She slayed the lip sync more than I thought she would.
Denali won early in the competition, and then she's been safe and high the whole time. And it's like, that's the hard thing about Drag Race though. It just takes one day. It takes one off day. So we're getting close to the ending. Nikki, I have to ask, who do you think the winner's gonna be if you had to say now?
You know, okay, I have a feeling that Gottmik has all her chances to win because not only the message is positive, but she's really slaying the competition. She's such at ease. Every episode, something unfolds about his story and her story as a drag queen that makes me believe that she's gonna be a great role model for the new generation.
Especially when Gottmik says, like, I had a hard time because there wasn't a trans male role model that was sort of femme. Nikki, thank you so much for being here today. You are an absolute goddess. Tell everybody where they can find you.
So you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. If this pandemic is not over, maybe OnlyFans at the Nicky Doll.
Wonderful. And thank you so much for watching The Pit Stop. Make sure you join us next week when we recap episode 11 of season 13 of RuPaul's Drag Race. Goodbye.
Look over here. The Drag Race YouTube channel is always bringing amazing content, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single thing.